The sound if everything works well, but I think it should be all right. So let me just double check because we had recently some sound if everything works well. It looks good. We had recently some technical issues and I was a little bit losing my mind about it, but I think it all looks fine. So I hope you all had a great weekend and we starting on the dollar index, right? So here is what I've been expecting, right? Obviously, it has opened with the gap in here, which I don't like too much because if we continue up higher from here, which is also the possibility, that means that we basically don't have this best opportunity for the setup. Let me give me 1 second. I just want to open this epic pen. Where is it? This drawing tool. Anyway, I don't have it. Right, so what I think is playing on in here, right? So we basically have reached this monthly CLS range in here, right? Price then moved higher, create that daily order block, right? Daily order block once we closed above this candle, right? So that was a daily order block, right? Then price started to drop lower, and I was in the expectation to price reach this level, right? What has happened, right? Basically, the US has joined the war. I don't think it's a World War III yet because we would see much bigger gaps, right? So that happens over the weekend. The Trump has announced that they've been bombing or something like that. To be honest, I really don't care too much. I just don't think that the people should be dying because of the politicians. That's it. Morning, everybody. Right, so what we have in here, so we had this open with this gap, right, again quite nicely leaving these relatively equal highs, right? So it's another sign that price will most likely go through all of these double tops, right? So now is the question, right? Are we going to go up through this like that, right? Or are we still going for this Wednesday, Friday's low, right? Which would be in my opinion much better, right? Because if we get some kind of Monday range in here, right, then manipulation into this level, right, down here and then going higher, then we get amazing setups, right? If you look to the news, right? Now is something going on the euro, some news, right? We have also GBP, USD news, right? So there is quite a lot of news. But what I think will be most important is this, right? Fed will be speaking, Fed Powers will be speaking, and he can say whatever, right? It's quite, it's quite under the pressure in there because they actually US already reached the 37 trillion debt, right? And they will have to do some um, they will basically have to issue the bonds, right, again. And why the Trump is pushing on him to cut the interest rates, because if you issue the bonds, if you print the money with the lower interest rates, then it's the lower affection of your overall budget, right? So this is what I see on the dollar index. I don't think I'm entering right now in here, right? I would like to see drop lower, right? So I'm not gonna get any excited, try to FOMO in here, right? We can look at it from the lower time frame, right? And yes, we have this double top in here, we are ranging in here, right? So this gap could be fully closed, right? And once we close below it, then we most likely go lower, right? So let me check on the M15, right? Alright, so basically on M15, you can see that the price went higher, left this gap in here, right? It's slightly tapped above this, right? And then on M15, you have created, this is basically a order block, right? But M15 is too low time frame to decide if we go lower, right? So for me at this stage, I would be waiting. Good morning, my friend, right? And I would like to see the drop lower, which I'm not interested to trade, right? I basically would like to trade from down here, below these two lows. So that's how I would summarize the dollar index, right? On the pound, right, it's the exact opposite. Hello, my friend. Yeah, we can look to the franc JPY, but let me finish these three, our main pairs first, right? So we are reacting from the key level, right? We had also this monthly CRS range, right? Price went higher, right? And then we had this sharp move down, right? On the daily, it has created what? Closing above this last up candle below, right? Which is basically creating a daily order block, daily change in order flow, right? So it's this level. That's where I would like to be happy if we go above this high in here, right? And there I would like to be shorting, right? So because it's also around a 61.8, 0.8, but we still didn't reach even the 50% in here, right? Of this monthly. So there's still definitely room to drop lower. And also, if we look at it from the little bit different perspective, let me just do this, right? And I'm going to, actually I have it, right? So let me, okay, so now I have hide all of these, right? And now we also can see that on the daily, this candle is also the CLS, right? And it has reached 50% in here. Right now we have opened below it. We have opened below it now with the gap, and we now closing inside, right? So this is quite strong, right? So that means that it has a chance to move higher, right, into here. But again, I'm not going to trade this because I mean I have it on my mind that it's there, that we could go higher, but I'm not gonna trade it because this is what I want to trade, right? That's what I'm looking for, right? This is my main bias. On the lower time frame, that would be possible, but I would rather go to sauna today and do some sports, and tomorrow I will come and short it, right? Or maybe Wednesday or whenever it will happen. Actually, even if it will happen, right? Will not be trying to catch every move, right? That's actually not your goal as a trader, right? Especially if you look at this, right, in here. These all lows are kind of relatively equal, and they are still in the premium, right? Price even didn't reach the discount, so you would be trading the long in the premium, right? That's what I'm not interested, right? So waiting here also. Scott, I got the same on the pound. Great. Hope we are not gonna lose both. Okay, my friends, here is a monthly CRS range on the euro, right? We reached the key level. We have closed below this up candle, right? I don't have this daily order block in here because I have it in my mind that it's in there, right? So I mean, I see this, right? This is daily order block. We closed this candle below it, right? So right now the price can be trading inside of this order block, and there I would like to be looking for a setup, right? So my setup would be here, right? In this lower time frame, I got this 4 hours order block, right? This is a level which created this drop lower, right? Price has almost reached it on the Friday, right? And then it opened with this gap, right? But it didn't reach it exactly, right? So still waiting for that. To be honest, I actually have opened some small short in here, right, with a bigger stop loss, but it's like a small position, right? But it's looking like some kind of like I'm somewhere in here, right? But it's a small lot. I'm not risking like what I would normally take risk in here, right? It's a kind of thing with time to time I'm doing when I'm like I cannot say sure. I know I should never say sure in a trading, like, but when I have my opinion about the bias, right, and I do not want to miss it, but because what can happen, price can basically go down, right, without giving us this pullback, right? So in that case, I have like a small position in here, right? It's stupid habit which I should avoid, because sometimes when the price go higher, right, and I add my position in here, right, it can pull back and go even higher. So I have actually bigger loss, right? But again, as said, it's a small position. Um, and I don't know why I did it. I mean, I should stop doing this, but yeah, I'm in small position here, but I would like to see this, right? I think we're going lower into the transition candle and into this order block, right? So we will see how this gonna play in here, right? It still can be some kind of, because we are now creating this Monday range right in here, and it still could be, you know, you never know this exactly. We are just waiting for a situation which will be the clearest for us to enter, and the lower risk entry, and some kind of thing which we know, right? So we still could be making like a low in here, right, which would be a Monday range, and then it can go above that Monday range and go lower, right? So this would be like that, right? So market is kind of absorbing this news about a Middle East, right? Here is USD CAD. I don't have nothing in here right now. I would like to be trading down here, right? Now is the question if that's gonna happen, because if you look to the weekly, we have actually this, right? So price has came where? We have this beautiful order block, right? Taking this low, breaking highs, right? Weekly down candle, right? There was a weekly CLS. It was difficult to, I mean, not difficult to trade, but if you didn't enter right here, right, you didn't get a chance for the pullback, right? So now the weekly has closed. Now the weekly has closed. I can actually delete these, right? Now the weekly has closed like this, right? So we have actually the weekly order block, right? So it's strong. It's strong. We have the weekly change in the order flow, right? On the weekly, that's very strong, right? So now we would like to see enter, right? We would like to see enter somewhere, but where, right? I don't see any level on the daily in here, some down candle. On the 4 hours, we can see, like maybe in here, right, this down candle, but you know, where you're gonna put stop loss. When you're entering here, you need to put stop loss in here, but the order block is in here, right? So basically what you do in this situation, simple thing, right? You measuring your sorry, not CLS range, but you measuring your dealing range, right? You still measuring your dealing range, and you looking for the entry in the discount, right? If the price still continues higher without giving a pullback, you are doing nothing. You still extending your dealing range, right? It will come one day, maybe tomorrow, maybe Wednesday, maybe Thursday, you know, there will be news. You see CPI on Canada, USD news or something like that. There will be situation when they will give it to you, right? But for now, you are in the premium. You don't do nothing, right? You want to be trading in the discount of this higher time frame dealing range, and also in the discount of this lower time frame, right? And you are in the premium right now. If you enter here, where are you gonna put your stop loss, right? You put your stop loss in here, you will be easy target, right? If you enter in here, it will be better, but you will hide your stop loss in here, and that's exactly where is actually the order block where the bigger players would like to enter, right? So waiting, right? It's clear that it's happening, right? Because we have this weekly change in order flow from the key level, but the strategy is not meeting all the criteria for the entry. So you will need to be making this, right? Then maybe you will find out that this low will appear in the discount, maybe, and maybe this level will be in the discount, right, after this move. Then it's okay. Because, why? Because the move was big enough to suck enough traders into a trade that it will create a stop loss cluster in here, their stop losses, right? So, but we don't have it right now, right? So that's what we have to do in here, to follow the process and wait the trade the present by itself, right? I don't see anything on the USD JPY, right? It's it kind of in this mid of the range, right? I was saying maybe what's gonna happen in here, right? So if just looking on the daily candles closure, right? So we have the candle close above, candle close above, right? Now with the gap, candle closing above, right? So again, we want to be bullish, right? We most likely going higher, right? Next candle. But what we gonna do? We need to wait, right? We need to wait for what? We have the bullish candle here. So where the price is going, right? To maybe to the next highs. So it's where? It's here, right? So what we want to see in the lower time frame, we would like to see create what? Again, a pullback, right? And we're going to be measuring again what? Dealing range, right? And that's where we would be interested to trade, right? Maybe on the lower time frame, we don't see any, or the lower time frame, the dealing range could be from here, right? And again, we need to see pullback, right? But I don't see it yet, so I'm not gonna waste too much time in here, right, on this one. Okay, I'm going to go to the crosses first. Here's the Euro Aussie. That's where I had this nice trade last week, and it went through these highs, right? So now it has met this objective, and I'm not interested in doing anything at this moment in here. Actually, I got also the NZUSD, which should be in the major pairs, right? Let me show you what I see in here, right? So we have this monthly FVG, sorry, yes, here is a monthly FVG, but also a monthly CLS, right? So now we can see it better. Now on the monthly time frame, right? We have this CLS range, right? The next candle trading in here. Good morning, Eduardo. Right now we have manipulation into this fair value gap, right? You see gap between these two, right? So it's a key level. Now we're dropping from the monthly to the daily, right? And we can see this up candle, which was tapping above these highs also in here, right? And then closing below, right? So in here we have the change in order flow confirmed, right? Price retested and gap it down, right? Where we most likely going after all of this probably was distribution, right? Price could reach this, right? So we have what? We have a bias for this potential move, right? Which is like a 250 pips, right? That would be perfect if we get a, again, pullback above today's highs, right? Which is maybe forming a Monday range, right? And we want to be shorting, right? And then again, if you closed take profit here, right, then again you're looking for the runs above the previous day's highs of the CLS ranges, right? So it's on the NZD, and Aussie looks actually quite same, right? Let me show you. Right, here is what I have found in here, right? So we have this big up candle, right? Manipulated price closed inside, but it closed bullish. You remember, if we manipulate and closed bullish, then most likely another manipulation is coming, right? So it's happening right now in here, right? Price has reached this key level in here, which is actually what? Down candle taking highs and then closing below. It's a breaker, right? From this breaker, and also here is a daily level, right? Let me show you how I have come into this level. And if I remember well, it was from, yeah, let me show you here, right? Now we have this in here, right? This candle, from here we have this breakdown, right? The candle that has break through these two lows, right? So there was a candle where was this accumulation before the price made this sell-off, right? And we want to find it on the lower time frame, right? So on the weekly, it's in this up candle, right? This up candle before we went down. right? But to be precise, I need to go daily, right? And on the daily, this last up candle is this one, right? Last up candle, so this low, right? Before all this sell-off started and price went lower, right? And it's this level for me, right? Also this key level in here, right? So right now we closing last up candle, we closing below it strongly. We are also back in the range, we gapping down, right? Let me take you this time frame, right? So we have again, we have this range in here, so where we will be targeting, right? What are we gonna do? You can see this candle has taken us from the discount to the premium. It's low, it's a transition candle, so and it's easily the 50% of this CLS range, right? So this could happen, right? Sorry, basically this, right? Does it align with the dollar index? It aligns with the dollar index, right? We can see dollar index on the monthly doing the same thing, right? We're having this daily order block in here, price changing on the flow from the key level, right? From where? From this, look where we are, right? On the 6-month order block, that's where we're reacting, right? Below where? Below 3 months transition candle liquidity, right? After the 6 months, it's going to be end of the month very soon, we are reacting on that level, right? Does it mean the dollar index will fire up? Maybe yes, maybe no, we don't know what is enough for us. We can see here was the model number 1 playing. Maybe we have a chance for the model number 2, right? Or maybe just these equal highs, right? 50% and this. But for me, currently, it's looking like a bullish setup. Not targeting where, I'm going from the level to level, right? Not trying to be guy with the magic ball to predict where exactly it will go, right? Now we will check the GBP JPY because someone was asking in the Discord, right? And I actually had the losing trade last week in here. What I think I did wrongly was this, right? Let me show you. Yes, here was this weekly candle, right? Here we had this candle closing in here, right? This one, this bearish. Let me zoom a little bit more, right? Kind of like a manipulated and closed inside, right? But again, if we look at this, how many multiple highs has been in here, right? Here, here, right? Here, right? And here, right? I've been basically trying to short in this candle, right? I think the manipulation was too shallow in here, but also if we look at it from the bigger picture, right, we can see that basically price has been ranging in here, but the low was taken, right? And another low was taken. And since there, so what does it mean? They probably loaded a liquidity in here, right? Because low was taken, then false break of the highs, right? So what does it, who traders who entered in here have stop losses in here, and then again, right, they took them out again, so another liquidity loaded, and they going against what? Against those who shorted this low breakout, which has the stop losses above here, right? Then some above here, some above here, some above here, right? And then again in the end, the supply demand traders, they have this as a supply, right? And it has been traded 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, 6 times, right? So now it's breaking up, right? And again, if you look to the JPY is quite somewhere on the lows, right? Going higher, right? So basically someone who asked me about the GBP JPY, right? I had a loss in here, and I think it was a mistake because here we had these lows taken, and we've been trading against to relatively equal highs, right? So you want to be basically trading the opposite, right? Into the equal highs, into the prices where we have like the highs on the relatively same levels, right? And you want to be trading from the lows which has been taken, right? So that's where most likely will price go through, right? Because what people think is like, okay, it has been rejected 10 times in here, so it's going to be rejected again. I'm safe in here, right? And you're not, right? Anyway, mistake done, loss taken, lesson learned. Now Frank JPY. Okay, I'm going to find it. Frank JPY Forex. For JPY. I personally don't like too much these Frank pairs, right? It's simple, right? You can see it in here. This one is even more clear than than GBP JPY, right? Uh, how would I start in here, right? If I've been doing the analysis over the weekend without having this candle, right? But just here, right? So how you start always, right? You look how the candles are closing, right? This candle, right? This one closed above this one, right? So in the next week, you're looking for what? You're looking for the open and price going higher, right? So in that week, the price went Monday, right? Tuesday, Wednesday, and then again going higher, right? Now, let me remove actually now this one, right? Now again, this week, last week, again closing above, right? Closing above the next candle, right? So what does it mean? We are still in the bullish market, right? So you would be again looking for the longs, but price has opened with the gap, right? Made a pullback. That's what we see in this week, and now it's creating a new highs, right? So here you should be only bullish and looking for the setups on the 4-hour CLS ranges or something like that, right? So you would have one probably in here, right? Now it's obviously easy to say you would have a setup in here, look, right? I didn't trade at it, right? But it is a setup, right? You have, you are bullish. In here you see how the candle closed, right? So you should be, so you're looking for the pullbacks, right? And then targeting again the new highs, right? In here. So you have a CLS range, right? And going higher, right? Then it's breaking up, right? Now you don't have anything, right? Price going higher, and it's on the all-time highs, right? Breaking higher, yes, right? It's on all-time highs. You don't want to be buying these. It can go up, yes. Can it pull back? Yes, right? You don't want to be trading here. Unless it would do something like strong close below here, right? Hi Dave, bit late this morning. No problem, Dean. You can look in the recordings, right? So always start with how the candles are closing, right? How the candles are closing. That's what I've been actually explaining for some time, also in the group, right? So that's what we see in here. Now let's look to the crypto. USDT dominance, right? Now I want to explain something in here, what I think is going on, right? So if you remember, we have seen, why I actually don't have this epic pen. Where is this epic pen? Okay, so I had a drawing tool and it disappeared, right? Anyway, so we have this CLS range in here, manipulated, right? Good morning. Now the price, yeah, I'm from Czech Republic, EG, probably same as you, right? So price going lower, right? Now we can see leaving these two equal lows in here, right? And we've been talking about this. We've been talking about this range which has been created in here, right? And it has created also the order block, right? Model number one, then price start to went higher, retested, right? And now it's going up again, right? So we can see we already have reached the high of this CLS range, right? So this setup is probably done, right? So let me take you to the weekly right now, right? We can see how easily it has played, right? So we've been thinking that the crypto and Bitcoin could overall do this pullback, right? Because this is happening, but we didn't know if it's going to be from this key level or this key level, right? If you remember, I had these drawings like maybe it's going to be here or here, right? Now it's clear. Look, let me show you. So it's not going to be this level because it's now invalidated. Now we can delete all of this, right? And now you see it clearly. So what you got, right? You got our CLS range in here, monthly, right? We have manipulated, we have played the model number one. We went below, where? Below our candle, right? Below our transition candle. That's where I took profit on the Bitcoin long, right? Now, we have what? Two equal lows left here, right? Price going higher, and again we have what? We have beautiful CLS range created in here, just right below this order block, and also around 61.8 and 0.8, the zone where we want to be trading, right? This is signs of the bearishness, right? And we are where? We will also be in the premium, right? So everything is aligning perfectly for the continuation setup lower on the USDT dominance, which since recently I'm thinking that it's the reason how the Bitcoin is moving, right? So right now we can go to the Bitcoin and look again, right? So if here we will go higher, which we will most likely go because again it's leaving relatively equal highs in here, we will go higher in here into 61.8 and this order block, then most likely Bitcoin will go lower, right? And Bitcoin has left this beautiful CLS range, right? Now below this CLS range we have any level? Yes, we have this breaker, right? On the monthly we have this up candle, right? Then price going lower, right? And then closing above it. We have also created this monthly order block, right? This level is a monthly order block. So we are now trading into it and we're looking for the level on the lower time frame, right? So this is our monthly breaker. And this monthly breaker also aligns with what? With this daily level, right? So do we know that the price will come lower down here, reacts here and go higher, right? Or it will drop lower down here and go from here, right? We don't know. How we gonna know, right? Again, we need to wait. We need to wait for the manipulation in here, right? This is a weekly range, right? So from the weekly, we need to drop to the 4 hours, right? And on the 4 hours, here's actually one CLS range already playing, right? But on the 4 hours, we will be looking for our manipulation, right? And creation of the order block, right? And then we trading model number one, right? Here needs to be some partial at least taken, right? Maybe we can get pullback, right? And model number two, it's possible, right? Or maybe it's not gonna happen and it will go straight up, right? But partial needs to be taken in here, right? So that's how we know that we're gonna continue higher. And again, is it guaranteed? No, it's going to be just our probability, right? So what can happen? We can have a successful trade in here, right? Or it can go lower. So what does it mean? Then it means we have one loss. So then we know that once we close below this level, that we will most likely go where? That we will most likely go down here, right? So then we can be looking for a short setup, right? Because once this level will not hold, then we definitely going into the discount below this transition candle liquidity, right? So that's how we play, right? We are just looking for the potential scenarios, okay? So it is in here on the Bitcoin, and then the similar situations are happening on the other pairs, right? So here, Solana, right? We've been saying that all the time. We're waiting for these lows to be broken, right? To the discount, to the transition candle, to the order block, right? Now on the weekly, this candle starts to look good to me, right? Because we do not want to be doing what? We do not want to be taking long in the consolidation. We want to be taking long after the manipulation. Here, yeah. Right? So we want to be taking long after the manipulation, right? This is a manipulation candle, right? And if it's manipulated one more time, then we're going to be in our level, right? And that's where we're gonna trade, right? That's how we follow the process. Next one, SUI, right? Same thing, right? We're getting back to the discount. We're having our here order block on the daily, right? Let me change the color so we get it as usually. Right? We got this here, right? We reached the 50%. Now we are reaching back into 61.80.8, right? We have serious range, we have key level, we are between the lines, right? So in here, looking for this, right? I do not think that it's going to be like a very, very big drop on the crypto, right? Here is the AVE, right? Does it mean that it's going to drop lower? Maybe, right? In here, not interested to do anything, right? I can go through all of these 15 millions shit coins, right? But I have just few of them which I have selected, right? Here is a Dogecoin, right? I'm in this trade. I'm underwater on this one. My stop loss is below this serious range low, right? So that's where I have my stop loss. Maybe I will be stopped out, right? If I will be stopped out, I will might re-enter again in here, right? So did I did any mistake in here or something like that? Probably not, right? Because even if I look to the 4 hours, all of these consecutive candles align with the daily key level, right? So I didn't make any mistake in here, but maybe I could wait for a kind of better candle in here, right? So we will see how it's gonna play in here, but still, I'm in a trade, and this as an order block with the low in here, right, should hold the price. If not, then I'm stopped out, right? Then maybe my stop loss should be a little bit in here, right? I will consider if I will extend it, if it will worth to keep it in here, right, and close position as being stop out and then re-enter again, or maybe trying to stay in the position. But I will probably not do that because I don't like to change the stop losses and extend the risk. Now, Inchcoin, right? I had a great short in here during the stream which I did for the hero, and on few few currencies I've been actually looking at the higher time frame, right? And this is something what I really don't like, because look, right, if you look actually to the 12 months, right, we have this manipulation here, then we go from the 12 months to the monthly, right? We have order block in here, this up candle, right, and price traded into it. Now we are going lower, right? With these two equal lows in the discount, I'm not sure what's going on in here, but similar thing looks on the link, right? Again, yearly range, right? Manipulated, price drop lower to the 50%, now 61.8, right? Which is model number 2 from this key level, and it's going lower down, right? So for me, whatever I want to think, to me this looks like a higher time frame distribution, right, for the price. So for me this looks like I'm actually not looking forward for some alt season or something like that, right? I'm trading it short term, but this is how look uptrend, right? This is uptrend, right? This is uptrend. This is something what could go higher. This is something, and this is something what looks to me like a distribution, and same on the Ethereum, right? If I bring my drawings on the Ethereum also, the same thing, right? Ethereum still didn't make a new all-time high, right? Meanwhile, some other things like a Solana, right, it did, but also not really anything strong, right? So what I want to say with this is I don't suggest anyone to do some long-term investments on the altcoins, right? Because there is not institutional demands in it, and that doesn't mean we shouldn't trade them, right? But what you should do, trade our thing, right? Go from level to level and don't expect any big things, right? Maybe it's maybe it's not gonna happen, right? Because if you look to the USD BTC dominance, it's still going higher, right? And I think it will not give up until we reach maybe 74, 75%, right? Then maybe some alt season can come, right? We will see. How to find you on TradingView? So here, right? David Perk. I'll give you a link into the here. I will post the link in the. I'm going to post link here. Right, David Perk. I'll give you a link into the here. I will post the link in the. I'm going to post link here. Okay. Right, David Perk. All right. So this is it. What else? I will post the link in the. I don't see anything extra at the moment. All right. So this is right. So I said I think the dollar is going to be strong, and that's what I'm looking for, right? I want to position myself on the major pairs, GBP, Euro, right? Maybe USD CAD if it will give some pullback, right? Maybe we will not see that, right? NZD USD, right? Aussie USD, right? Aussie actually I think I will enter in here, right? I think I will enter most of them right now with some bigger stop loss, right? As a swing or the position trade, because in my opinion, it can give a really big move, right? So I mean, entering in here with the bigger stop, right, and the bigger target, really small position. That's what I'm gonna do, right? But for the better, like a risk reward trade, I still would like to see some drop lower, right? And that's how I would close it for today, my friends. So I hope it gives you some good guidance and helps you know